Ah, I mean, greetings. I am 2VR8, factotum droid for this vessel. You must be my new master. Gentle, kind new master.
What are you? My personal entertainer? Do you perform tricks?
Not as such, master. I would be willing to learn tricks if it pleases you, however. I am programmed for a wide array of tasks, including but not limited to meal preparation, ship maintenance, janitorial duty, and etiquette. Welcome aboard this Fury-class Imperial Interceptor, a versatile craft combining a starfighter's maneuverability with armament to rival larger military vessels. You'll find all of the standard amenities, including your own private captain's locker for storing valuables. The astrogation console contains a constantly updated map of the known galaxy. Interstellar communications are accessed via the ship's holoterminal. Priority alerts that you may find useful are available from the Imperial HoloNet console. Lastly, the ship's intercom will inform your crew that you wish to issue new orders. Any questions, Master?
Are you at least capable of providing security while I'm not aboard?
I regret I am unable to offer you combat support, Master. Frankly, my chassis couldn't withstand the stress. However, should any errands arise that are beneath your superior status, please do not hesitate to call upon me. I function to serve you. Whenever you are ready to depart, consult the galaxy map on your bridge. It will program the proper astrogation coordinates and activate the engines.
You, apprentice? Excellent. You've arrived safely on Balmorra, I see. Now, I hope you're ready to work. I've got a good idea of where the ancient artifact is on Balmorra, but it's not pleasant.
You mean like a rancor with a rash, or...?
You have a vivid imagination, apprentice. Tulak Horde hid his artifact in a vault on Balmorra, one that was later converted by the Balmorrans into a toxic waste storage facility. But the vault was hit badly in the last war. It's now a crater, filled with toxic waste. Your artifact is at the bottom.
Oh dear. What am I into this time?
You've done the impossible before. You'll do it again. But try making contact with the Imperial Resources Officer here on Balmorra, Major Bessica. Bessica knows the planet, and he may even have a few good ideas.
I sincerely doubt it.
Those who succeed without the Force make up for what they lack with a certain resourcefulness. Don't write Bessica off. The Empire has its hands full coping with a violent Balmorran uprising. Officially, they're a grassroots militia. Secretly, they have the Republic's full backing. I've informed Major Bessica of the Republic's involvement, so he'll be better equipped to assist you. No doubt the Republic's hounds will get in your way.
Why is the Republic's involvement a secret?
At the end of the last war, the Treaty of Coruscant left Balmorra to the Empire. The Republic cannot risk open involvement without violating the treaty. But the war is secondary to the artifact. Retrieve the artifact and try to be discreet. We don't want the entire Sith Order chasing our prize.
My lord, welcome to Balmorra. I hope you like bombed-to-pieces mudholes. Captain Rigel, Imperial Conquest Consolidation Corps. When the Empire invades, we're the ones who seal the deal. Don't suppose you're aware of the situation here on Balmorra?
It's my understanding there's some kind of battle.
Yeah, if you could call a pile of bodies a battle. The Empire invaded Balmorra in the last war, but we've been spinning our wheels in the mud ever since. Resistance fighters think they can drive the Empire off Balmorra. We're here to prove them wrong.
What does this have to do with me?
We want the best Sith agents and guns for hire in the galaxy to put this war down once and for all. The Balmorran government in exile, backed by Minister of Defense Vol Argen, is giving us fits, backing a strong faction of the Resistance. The Minister is safely off planet, but if we break his allies here, we break him. We break him, we break the Resistance.
What about the rest of the Balmorran government in exile?
Vol Arjun is the only one with military experience, and he's the most vocal. When we destroy his power base and wipe the floor with his whiskers, none of the others will have the backbone to oppose us. That's why we need to take everything out. Do we have the privilege of your support?
I suppose I can give it a look.
My second-in-command, Lieutenant Davril, is in Sobrik, waiting to brief you on the operation's first mission, if you decide you're in. He's got plans to blow the Balmorran resistance sky high. I think you'll like them.
My lord, word of your talent precedes you. I'm honored. You're well aware of the situation, I'm sure. The government in exile, the resistance, cowards. If my lord is willing, we're going to bury them in their little hidey holes.
Yes, I get it. We're going to crush the resistance. What's your point?
The old government's sending generators to the resistance, powering their artillery. The resistance has given pardons to Balmorra's worst killers in exchange for a little guard duty. Phase 1 of Operation Breaking Point is to destroy those generators and put those killers to sleep. You in?
I suppose I have the time.
You find the time. You rain death. The generators are in the Nibre warehouse. If you can blow them to pieces, you'll show the Balmorran resistance it takes more than cold-blooded killers to stop the Empire.
There's something of great value in one of the hazard vaults. The one that was blown open. I heard you could help.
Ah, who's this? Sith? And an alien at that. It's a real pleasure. I have a son on Korriban, you know. It's a tough war you're walking into. We're fixing blasters with adhesive tape. But we'll help you any way we can. Now, let's see. A blown open vault. Captain, do we still have those pumps?
Sir, if this is the vault I think it is, it won't be that easy. The fumes alone have put men in the medical center.
There has to be something that can withstand this stuff.
We need some way to make this pit less deadly. Tell me, Captain, is there nothing that can survive the toxic waste?
Well, nothing grows there, sir. But there are the colicoids.
Colicoids? What do those bugs want with toxic waste?
Food, sir. Our surveillance satellites have recorded them feeding on the toxic waste. We suspect they've been designed to eat it.
I'll just assume you're kidding.
It does seem like a strange thing to do, Captain.
It's a guess. The toxic waste resistance may have been an unintended result. Or the Balmorran scientists were insane.
I personally prefer the term differently rational.
Well, whatever you call it, it might be just what we need to crack this thing. There must be a way for you to take on the colicoid's resistance, so you can enter the vault. Captain, where were these creatures created?
Well, I can't say for sure, but there's a research lab not far from here that was overrun with colicoids as soon as the Balmorrans abandoned it. But the colicoids are vicious creatures. Just one of them tore apart a whole squad.
I can't afford to make excuses. I need the information in that lab.
I'm sorry, Sith. We don't have the numbers to deal with these things. But if you can get into that lab, we'll get you into that toxic pit.
Sir, even if we find out what causes this resistance, we don't have the...
We'll worry about that later. Right now, our Sith friend has to get into that lab and find out what the Balmorrans did to those creatures.
Hey there. You got a second? Oh. You're one of them Sith Lords. I ain't seen one of those before. Am I supposed to, bow or something? I, bet you could get me to who's in charge.
This better be worth my while.
I ain't never been more serious. Once you turned our droids against us, Balmorra was dead. It's just mop-up for you. I want to come out of this with my head. I got info. Right here. Where the rebels are. What they're hitting. Introduce me to the Mucky Mucks, and I'll trade them the rest for a berth off-planet.
You want to defect?
Now you're getting it. Help me out. I think Lieutenant Trishota handles defections, but he's been targeted a few times, so he don't take people off the street anymore. You convince him I'm the real goods, and I'd bet he'd cut you in a finder's fee.
Are you
you the officer who deals with defectors?
My lord, my poor station is honored by your presence. I'm Lieutenant Trishoda. High Command has tasked me to learn how these rebels think, as distasteful as that is. Have you found a candidate? Someone of enough value for the Empire to recruit instead of capture?
A man named Griffin Remus. He gave me this intel already. Why don't you torture him for anything else he's got?
I'll send my men to pick him up. Thank you, my lord. Forgive me the paltry payment for your service. We have a standard rate.
Must have been imagining things, but I could have sworn I heard those generators go pop from here. Thank you, my lord. But it looks like the Resistance isn't done yet.
You'd think the Empire would have an easier time with a ragtag bunch of Resistance fighters.
Used to be we kept the Resistance in check in the wilds, but now they've started to get bolder. They're attacking Imperial holdings in the old Balmorran industrial area. We need to punish their boldness. Lieutenant Thorpe at Marcaran Outpost has some ideas about how to put the Resistance back in their place.
Major, if we don't get those supply vehicles...
My men are working on it, sir, but until that shipment of plasteel I requested 3 months ago comes in...
I don't care! Tear it off the walls if you have to!
What was that all about?
Don't worry about the Colonel. He's loud and impatient, but we all are these days, what with the supply shortage. Now, did you manage to find anything out of the lab? Captain Ilon and I have been doing our own research, but we haven't discovered much.
Let's just say I wouldn't want to live there.
Have a look at this, Captain. I can't make head or tail of it.
This confirms our suspicions. The collocoids were being mutated to clean up the waste, and it looks like the chemical mutagen they were using could theoretically work.
Well, that's it. That's our solution, right? We just replicate this chemical mutagen.
Sir, there's a problem. Our chief scientist defected to the Republic a few months back. We can't begin to replicate, let alone test the serum without him.
I guess we need to undefect him.
Undefect indeed. You certainly have a way with words, Sith.
The scientist's name is Yanis Tirek, and he's still on Balmorra, in a Republic research base out near the Toxic Lakes.
All right, Sith. It looks like you have your next objective. You find this scientist, you subdue him, my men will bring him back, and we'll get you your chance to swim in toxic waste.
Is there a reason you can't do this?
Those bases are heavily guarded. I don't have enough men for a full strike force. And that's what it'd take for non-Sith. Oh, and Sith, hurry back. I just got word that my son passed his trials on Korriban, and is on his way to Balmorra. I don't want you to miss him.
Ah, the apprentice. I was wondering when you'd reach the front lines. I'm Fixer 66. I'm with the operations branch of Imperial Intelligence, and if you have a moment, I'd like to show you something.
I see you're monitoring communications. What more should I know?
On the left is an ordinary Republic comm unit issued to Resistance fighters. You've probably seen hundreds before. This other one is a Republic comm unit that has undergone some surgery. Please look, don't touch. The second one contains a ½ kilo of high explosive that detonates when the talk button is pressed.
That's somewhat intriguing.
The plan is to take a few of these sabotaged comm units behind the Resistance's lines and plant them on their dead. The Resistance should soon salvage the comms and take them back to their headquarters. The resulting explosions will cripple and panic them. We'd prefer someone like you to take point. Someone who won't break if captured and who can go without reinforcements. Can you do this?
Let's get it done.
Head over to our technical man, a Balmorra local we drafted. The men call him Toybox. He'll give you the ordnance and show you how to transport it safely.
Fixer 66 called with the details. I've got your comm units rigged and ready to go. Oh, my name's Toybox, or that's what they call me. I used to make... well, never mind. Quite a plan the Fixer's got. What do you think of it?
I like it. It exterminates the Resistance in their nests.
The Resistance? Or anyone else that picks up the comm unit? He's assuming soldiers will be the ones stripping any Resistance bodies, but civilians pick over bodies all the time. Refugees, sympathizers, sometimes you'll even see children do it.
It's regrettable. Unfortunately, no one makes a child-proof bomb.
No, but it's more practical to kill a soldier than a civilian, right? We want a high-value target. While I was making the bombs, I remembered I had some empty grenade casings lying around. Now, a comm unit anyone will activate. But if we trapped a grenade to explode when armed, only soldiers will be in the blast. What would you think of that?
Has it occurred to you that Fix's plan relies on you obeying his orders?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to show some initiative, my lord. Here are the trapped comm units. They're disarmed until this channel is set to 5. Just set them and walk away. Fixer 66 will be monitoring Resistance comm frequencies. Talk to him when it's done.
There's been chatter on the Resistance frequencies while you were off planting the ordnance. The Resistance has set off 3 bombs so far. The first blast sent them scattering. Then, of course, they attempted to stay in touch via comm unit. So you can imagine the results. Quite a successful operation.
Just doing my part.
Well, it's delivered the punishment. 1 bomb went off near their medical bay. They'll have quite a time recovering. And with the investigation they'll have to launch to discover our method, we'll be ahead for quite some time.
Well, well. I should have known Berserker wouldn't let me go without a fight. But sending a Sith seems a bit like overkill. Are you here to kill me, or are you going to torture me first?
Thanks for reminding me.
No, no, listen. I won't be scared into returning. I risked my life to come here. Being an Imperial scientist, it's a fate worse than death.
Don't you think you're being a little dramatic?
I won't go back to that place. You don't know what it's like. We're not expected to be men. We're machines, slaving day in and day out. No intellectual freedom, no creativity. I'm tired of building killing machines. I want to do some good for humanity. I can't go back there.
We'll see how you feel after this.
Damn Sith! Oh. You'll have to kill me. I'll never return to the Empire willingly.
I'm sorry. I promise to bring you back to the Republic when this is over.
Sith! Major Berserker sent us in after you to collect the scientist.
Just make sure he doesn't try to run.
Of course. We'll see you back at Sobrik.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sure you're very busy. Congratulations, by the way. I heard that you found our scientist. We'll whip up that serum and get you into that toxic waste pit in no time. But there's a problem, and I need your help.
I don't do this sort of thing.
Look, you know I hold you in the highest respect, so I wouldn't ask if it wasn't truly important. It's my son. He arrived shortly after you left for the research facility, but then he went after some holocron, he called it. A few minutes ago, I got what I think was a distress call from him. He's in trouble.
Sounds like a huge waste of my time.
Look, I didn't want to have to do this, but it sounds like I have no choice. This is my son we're talking about, and if you want your serum, you'll save him.
Have you forgotten who you're dealing with?
I have pull in important circles, and my brother is a higher-ranking Sith. You'll listen if you know what's good for you. All this time you've been running around, we've been fighting a war. I've been more than happy to help, but not at the expense of my son's life.
If you're going to make me feel guilty, I'll do it.
I'm sorry it had to come to this. I like you, I really do. We narrowed the origin of the distress call to an abandoned building near the Republic crater outpost. I'm guessing the Republic's captured him, which means a lot of fighting to free him. Good luck.